on average, what I found is between myself, my students, right, and these are students that are across the planet, thousands of students looking at their results, each ebook, right, each Word doc generates about $500 a month. So Amazon takes care of everything. This is in your pocket, $500. We're going to need, I'd say about 15 books on average, right, to get to about $100,000 a year.
This is The Fighting Entrepreneur, the podcast dedicated to entrepreneurs looking to change the world. Learn how to start, build, and scale a business in today's highly competitive business environment. Here's your host, The Fighting Entrepreneur, Anik Singal.
What's up, you crazy fighting entrepreneurs? Welcome back to yet another episode of The Fighting Entrepreneur. It's your favorite person, Anik Singal, and I'm here, your host. Man, I am excited because we had Ty on last week, and I'm going to tell you something. If you missed that episode, that's how to make $100,000 using little Word files on Amazon Kindle. If you missed it, stop, pause right now, stop, halt, do not pass go. Stop this episode, go back and listen to last week's. I'm going to tell you possibly my favorite episode I've had so far because, Ty, you have solved one of the world's biggest problems. There's so many people want to make money, right, online, but they're getting lost in the mess of all of the processes of the funnels, the pages, the copy, the Facebook ads, the Google ads, it's a mess. And there's just so many things to learn and it holds people back. But what I find is that many people it's weird, right? It's the human mind, the psychology of it. The first $100 is the hardest to make, but the next 1,000 is easy comparatively. It's because until we believe, a lot of our students at Lurn say, if I could just make my first paycheck, I don't care what it is or how it is. I just need to know it's real. And then I'd have some money and then I could invest. So that's happened with me, right? The reason I broke open was because people started paying me money to do SEO for them. And I would pay $500 to $1,000 at a time. And then all of a sudden, before I knew it, I had like 10, 15 grand in my bank account. So now when I wanted to do the next big idea and I don't understand technology or web development or websites, I can hire someone. I have money to hire someone. I don't have to dip into my savings. But the other thing that we talked about in the last episode, which is why I love this idea, is that I've been studying personally a lot of passive income lately, right? I've been at the point where I'm like, okay, Lurn is my company. I call it my value company. This is the company where, I may not make a lot of money personally because contrary to what most people believe, every penny I make at Lurn, it stays in Lurn and we try to invest it to scale and grow faster. So I'm not pulling out crazy amounts of money. I'm like, okay, I got my value company now. So God knows I can't handle two value companies at the same time. One is more than enough, but it would be great if I had some passive income. So I start researching this and I find real estate. Right. And I love real estate. And I'm really, really, really digging the real estate vibe right now. I'm taking a lot of training. My wife and I are going to different events and, I love learning. So if I never end up doing a single thing with real estate, just the fact that I spent so much time learning it was fun. But with real estate, so we have this one property we're looking at right now, which we're going to buy. It's going to be about $50,000 to buy it, which is in itself like, whoa, you found a property for 50 grand? Like, yeah. And it should cash flow about $500 a month. This is a true story, okay? And that's great. I mean, that's a great, great deal. It's a great ROI, great tax benefits, et cetera, et cetera. I'm excited. But then this last podcast episode we filmed last week, you go and burst that bubble because you say, hey, every little 25-page Word file you upload into Amazon could make you about $500 a month. Yeah. And it's going to cost you less than $150 to make that file. Now, Ty, there's a big difference between $50,000 and $150, right? Now, there's a time and place. You should do real estate also. Sure, great. But, man, this is great passive income. And I'm a little bit upset at myself for not having talked to you about this earlier and bringing this to our audience. This is why I love the podcast, by the way. So I gave Ty, if you haven't listened to the last episode, I cannot push you enough. Go listen to it, okay? I gave Ty a challenge at the end of podcast part 1 of this series. I said, you are going to make me a business plan to how I, Anik Singal, can earn $100,000 a year. What do I have to do on Kindle? And then everyone gets to listen to that, and they get to choose if they want to do it or not. But I don't know why anyone wouldn't. Now, before we get started, all right? Kindle, Lurn.com, LURN.com/Kindle. That's Ty's absolutely free course, free videos that we are publishing. Ty has flown down here to Lurn Center to do it. Lurn.com/Kindle. Get over there. get involved. If you're listening to this on YouTube, guys, come on, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, pass this video around to people. Ty, one more time, man, thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this, not just for selfishly for me, but just like you're getting the word out, man. There's so many people who's like you say, I love this. Ty said, how would you like if Amazon paid your mortgage? I'm like, that would be freaking spectacular. Yeah. So thank you. I don't know how else to introduce you. Ty's been one of my close friends for 15 plus years. The guy is brilliant. He's a genius. And now I found out in the last episode, you've been with Kindle since the day it was invented.
Yeah, pretty much.
So powerful. You've got to feel pretty good. How many people have you just helped just start making more money, man?
Man, I've taught this to tens of thousands of people globally.
That's crazy.
Right? And the thing is, so when I say that, I want everyone that's listening or watching to remember that this market is so huge that millions of people could learn it. And there'll still be like an incredible profit potential for everyone.
So you've taught it to tens of thousands, but I'm sure so many of those you've taught never did anything with it.
Absolutely.
That drives me nuts.
Yeah. Well, it drives me nuts. I'm giving them a formula.
And this is so simple.
That works.
It doesn't get simpler than this.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have been around the internet now for 15 plus years. So has Ty. I have seen it all. I have done it all. I've tried it all. It just doesn't get simpler than this. And I'm actually so in awe that I'm angry that this model has been out there and it's not been brought to Lurn students up until today. So I apologize to everybody at Lurn. We should have brought this to you much sooner, but we're here now. So Ty, in accordance with our traditions here at the Fighting Entrepreneur, if you could raise your right hand.
Let's do it.
All right. And just repeat after me. I, Ty Cohen.
I, Ty Cohen.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
To tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
To tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
And help Anik make $100,000 next year using Kindle.
And help Anik make $100,000 next year using Kindle.
Yes!
Boom.
Got it on record. Tyler, you saw that, right? All right. Tyler, who is Ty's son, is here, and he is going to be my voice in Ty's own home that Ty committed to this. All right. So what we're going to do, again, I'm not going to recap what we went over the last episode because I'm selfishly, we got to move along. I want to make the business plan for me. But if you missed it, then a lot of what we talk about today may not make sense. So it's free. Come on, go back to last week. Listen to that episode. Come right back. This one's not going anywhere. Ty, I've told you, here's my scenario, and Ty's going to help me make a business plan in my unique scenario. And I think a lot of people will learn a lot from it. I got Lurn.com.
Okay.
I love Lurn with all my heart and everything. It's my dream. We're going to put 10 million people into the platform, 10 million entrepreneurs worldwide into the platform. We're going to change lives. We're going to change the world, not the governments. We as entrepreneurs will do it. And when you have a mission and a passion that big and a vision that big, the problem, Ty, is it takes up every ounce of your time, every ounce of your energy. So the days of me being a multi-entrepreneur of just multiple companies is not happening right now. Now, luckily, I've invested in some great companies and they're out doing big things. So I still have multiple companies. And so I was thinking the other day in my head as I'm studying passive income and I'm learning that, okay, Lurn is not the best example of passive income for me. It used to be, but I chose to go after a bigger mission. So it's not anymore. All the money Lurn makes stays in Lurn. But I don't have time and the energy to build more businesses. Even small affiliate sites and all, they all take time. There's still stuff to do. You have to market them, and I just don't have time for it. Like little side businesses. So I've been staying away from it. Until now, I said, I got to take my money. I got to make passive money from it. And I would love to do this Kindle model because it's fun. I actually want to do it so that I become a guinea pig. I want to prove it. And then I want to go beat all the Lurn students over the head and say, you have no excuse anymore, right? You should be doing this. The only pushback I have in my heart, the only challenges is, man, it's going to be one more thing. Like, what am I going to do? Write random books like goat farming and this and that, things that don't drive my passion, don't drive. Then I thought, wait, and we talked about this a little bit on the last episode. I said, what if all the books were somehow helping Lurn?
Yeah.
What if all the books were topics that would bring in great members for Lurn Nation? Then all of a sudden I thought, now we're tugging at my heart. I'm passionate and I'm double, triple, quadruple dipping, value dipping.
Right.
I'm pulling some money off of Kindle from it, making passive income. I'm getting new members for Lurn Nation. And now I'm so much more excited.
The brand is out there.
The brand is out there. You said totally doable. So let's do it, Ty. The kinds of people I want at Lurn, entrepreneurs, marketers, people into personal development, but for the purpose of becoming an entrepreneur. So not spiritual type stuff. What would I do? How do I go about this? Is it doable, first of all? Am I on the right track?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think for what you're doing, it's totally doable. It's beyond doable, right? So almost any niche that's out there that you may be interested in, this is doable. So we're going to take entrepreneurs, for example, right? And let's say, I think you said that your goal was about 100,000 a year.
100,000 a year.
This, right? Mm-hmm. So on average, what I found is between myself, my students, right? And these are students that are across the planet, thousands of students looking at their results. Each ebook, right? Each Word doc generates about $500 a month.
Yeah.
About $500 a month. So now, to get to 100,000 a year.
And that's net, right? There's no ad
yes,
cost. There's
that's
no...
net, right. Because Amazon is advertising, right? Amazon takes care of customer support, the return issues, if you have returns, right? And that's another thing. We barely see returns.
Barely, yeah.
So Amazon takes care of everything. This is in your pocket, $500. Great question. All right, so now we're going to need, I'd say about 15 books on average, right? To get to about 100,000 a year.
All right.
Super, super easy to do. So don't get scared when you hear that number 15. Because here's the thing, folks. 90% of the work is done for you, right? And we talked about this on our last podcast. Also, Anik, you mentioned even having someone do the market research. Like, I like to go in and do the market research. That's the first step we talked about, right?
Yep.
But even that you can outsource. So you have your entire process done for you. So now we're talking about entrepreneurs. For someone that's a new entrepreneur, I think the first step is to becoming a different person. Because I know for myself, we were talking about me having one job, working at Walgreens Pharmacy from 14 to like 24. The person that I was working at Walgreens Pharmacy and the person that I had to become as an entrepreneur are two different people, right? So that's one market right there. Personal development for entrepreneurs. Who do you need to become? What disciplines do you need to start to develop, right? What routines do you need to start to develop? Okay. So that's one market. So you can have multiple books that spin off just from that one market alone, right? Who do you need to become? That's one, right? Routines. And I think you just recently did a podcast on this. Routines of billionaires and millionaires, right? Yep. So we can go with routines of entrepreneurs, routines of successful entrepreneurs, and how do you adopt that into your lifestyle? The other thing might be relationships, right? So personal development for entrepreneurs in the vein of relationships, because now, as an entrepreneur, you need to learn how to communicate with people such as your significant, right? Your spouse who may not be an entrepreneur. That's a totally different conversation, right? Yeah. So you have to learn how to, adjust to their needs and get them to better understand you, your mission, your why, and your desires. So now we have 3 different books there, right? Out of our 15 that we need. So,
but question. So in the last one, you said, I remember Udemy was the first research place.
First step.
1,000 sales.
Yep.
And then 1,000 customers, and then and that's a public number. They put it out there.
1,000 students enrolled.
1,000 students enrolled, and then the next one was got to go to Amazon, find a book on that topic that's got a bestseller ranking of 20,000 or less.
Right. Correct.
So when you say like personal development routines for successful entrepreneurs, it sounds great, but how do I test it? So like, should I pull up my phone?
And that's what we're getting to. That's awesome. Perfect. Right.
Got it.
So now, this works for when we're doing step 1, market research. Just works for the person that already has an idea. Like we have a couple of ideas that we just jotted down. Yeah. It also works for the individual who says, Ty, I want to do this, but I have no idea where to start.
Okay.
Right. So we're going over to Udemy. Right.
So your process then, first step is you just say, what do you think would work? Just write a bunch of ideas.
Would work? Right. What do you like? What are you interested in? When you were 14 or 15 years old, what did you want to explore? Got it. Right. Acting was one of my things I wanted to explore, maybe, right? So I would go over to Udemy, and let's say let's stay in the vein of what we have, right? So let's say if I wanted to explore personal development for entrepreneurs. So I would go over into the personal development category, and you'll see this up in Udemy as of this recording. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see a categories tab.
Yep.
You click that,
gonna check it
and then you see the subcategories.
Okay.
You go down to personal development or whatever subcategory appeals to you the most. Now you're looking under that to see if there's anything that is closely related to what it is that we're talking about.
So we've got, I'm under personal development. We've got personal transformation, productivity, leadership, career finance, career development, parenting, happiness, religion, brand building, creativity, influence, self-esteem, stress management, motivation, and memory.
So let's go with leadership, right?
Yep.
Entrepreneur.
Yep.
You're going to eventually hopefully have a team. We don't want to be a one-man show forever, right? That's stress in itself.
Yeah.
So now leadership. So what do you see under the leadership category here? We're looking for content that has 1,000 students enrolled, because that's our barometer right there.
Yeah.
When we're on Udemy, the first step is doing market research, because we want to find out if there's an existing market that is actively interested in the subject and buying.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
You've got The Science of Leadership. Acumen presents Seth Godin's Leadership Workshop, Management Skills, New Manager Training and Essential Skills. The Art of Building Trusting Coaching Relationships, fully accredited. Yeah, I mean, you just think like a leader with Brian Tracy.
All right, so now what do you find here that has 1,000? And let's exclude Brian Tracy. Let's exclude Seth Godin,
the big
right?
names, yeah.
So anyone that has a big name, you want to exclude those. Now, what do you find that has, is there anything that you find that has 1,000 plus students enrolled there?
Yeah, so unfortunately on your mobile phone, you can't see the number of students unless you click into it. So it doesn't show you in the description,
right.
the quick ones. But I did happen to click one, and it says succeed, influence, and inspire as a woman in leadership.
Boom, that is perfect, right?
And it's got 2,700 students.
2,700 students.
Wow,
That's
I think
awesome
we just,
right
all
there.
right, so let me just
Right?
write this down here. So basically it's,
Yeah.
do you want me to write this actual title down? Is there magic
Yeah, you
behind
can
this
write
title?
that down, right?
All
And we'll stick with this one for everything that we're doing here. So now, can you go ahead, write it down, and then give me that title again.
Sure. So it is Succeed, Influence, and Inspire as a Woman in Leadership.
Boom. Okay. Now, so there's so many different things that we can do with that, right?
Okay.
We can go in. Now, we're modeling. We just want to find out if the audience is there already, right? It's like if you're doing this for a brick and mortar business, right? You want to, let's say you want to invest in a Subway franchise, right? You want to at least know, Starbucks is the perfect model, right? So Starbucks has a formula. They go into certain areas where they know that there's a certain demographic because it's proven to work already.
Yep.
So we're doing the same thing. We're going into a certain category where it's proven already. There's a certain number of students that are already interested in this and they've already purchased. So now we can take something like this, we can model it, and we can go in and create a similar product, right? And we distill it down, because again, these are going to be short documents that we're publishing to Amazon. They sell extremely well.
Yeah.
25 pages and it does well. It doesn't have to be 100 pages, 200 pages.
So do I need to check Amazon now too?
You can go over to check Amazon, right? So
Or are you
that's the next step. But this
Okay.
one right here,
Yeah.
I'm totally convinced.
You
right?
already know.
So there's
How
an
come?
open market.
What about this makes
Because
you...
it's niched down already, right? So now let's say, so there's a give and take here. So this is already niched down, meaning when I say niched down, it's specifically talking to who? I mean, Anik's not going to go and buy this. Unless he's buying it for his wife, right? Maybe. I'm not going to go and buy it. Or unless he's buying it for his staff or something like that, right? People that are in leadership positions. But it's already specifically talking to females.
So let me ask you this. So I went to Amazon anyway. So first of all, you're right. I mean, I got to know for a fact, right? If I publish this book inside of Lurn.com,
Right.
it's going to get sales, because we, you know, if you read the title, I agree with you. I got excited too. This is where I get a little confused though, because on Amazon, oh man, I think I know exactly what problem I have here, but this is a good learning point.
Gotcha.
So on Amazon, I feel like getting a bestseller ranking of 20,000 or less is pretty hard. So I went and I typed in woman leadership
Yep.
into the search, and I got this book. It has 41 reviews called Leading Gracefully, A Woman's Guide to Confident, Authentic, and Effective Leadership. And it's set to the format paperback.
Gotcha.
Should I change that to Kindle?
No, because when we're doing our research on Amazon, we want to search under paperback
Under
books.
paperback.
Well, traditional books, right? So you'll
Yeah.
see on Amazon, upper left-hand corner,
Yeah.
there's books, and then there's Kindle
Okay.
right underneath that in the drop-down menu.
So-
So we're actually going to do research under both.
Okay.
Because you might find topics that do well as a physical book, right? That
Yeah.
don't do well in the Kindle format and vice versa. Or that may not even be available in a Kindle format.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah. So for this particular book, both the physical one was 300,000 and the digital one is 350,000.
Yep.
So now all of a sudden that doesn't hit the 20,000.
No, so we want to be, and what he's talking about is we want to, when we go in and do our research on Amazon, we want to at least model books that have a sales rank of at least 20,000. So you'll see the sales rank in the lower left-hand corner of a book's page. Now, that doesn't mean that this is not a good topic, because it's still proven on Udemy.
Okay.
right?
Okay.
It may mean that this particular offer just didn't do well.
Okay.
right?
Got
the
it.
way they position the book may not have done well, right?
Got it.
So if we go in and we type in maybe women leadership, which is, I think that's what you typed in, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you searched for?
I typed in woman leadership. I found one here. I like the title.
Mm-hmm.
How to be successful without hurting men's feelings.
There you go. So that may be one.
25,000 bestseller ranking. So we're getting closer.
So you're getting closer, right?
Yeah.
So now that proves that as you're seeing where the numbers are getting lower and lower, it proves that there's a market.
It's basically the more niched I'm getting. The
It
more
is.
specific the
Yes.
topic is getting, the
So we can take something like this, right?
Yeah.
And it could be leadership for women, right? Like, so give me the title once again here.
Succeed, influence, and inspire as a woman in leadership.
Right. So now we can go in and we can publish something that is geared towards women leaders, right? That teaches them how to go in and inspire and lead their team. And then we can get even more niche. We can say African American women leaders, right? And now, so what's happening is there is, as someone goes in and they go over to Amazon, once you've published this, if they see this title where it's specifically talking to women leaders, they can identify with that. And sometimes they're more niche. Now, you don't want to get too niche unless it's really broad.
Yeah.
But if you now have something where it says African American leaders, now that gets even more niche and they feel like, okay, well, you're talking to me.
Your sales conversions will go up.
Oh, it's insane,
Yeah, they'll
right?
go
Because
up.
now everything else is more generic. Yours is really laser targeted, and that's your audience that you're tuning into.
So how long would it take? Okay, so I've got my marching orders, and I'm going to actually go do this, and
Right.
I'm going to come back to you in the next few days with an Excel file of here are my ideas. So, go explore Udemy, and then find the topics, go to Amazon, and let Amazon give you the angle,
Right.
and then find a way to niche it down further if needed.
Yeah, if needed.
And I need to get about 15 book titles that I go through this process. If you were doing it, being that you're a ninja at this, how long do you think it would take you to come up with just the 15 topics?
Man, so the research is the fun part.
Yeah.
Because then it starts to, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're someone that's remotely interested in entrepreneurship, because it opens your eyes up to so many possibilities. Like, man, there's so many different subject matters that you'll start to see, and you realize like each one is like its own little diamond mine, which is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm doing this, I could come up with about 15 topics in 30 minutes or so, maybe.
Wow. That's crazy.
And that's the gift and the curse, because it becomes really addictive doing this.
Yeah, but I mean, not to oversimplify, but that means you're sitting, you're 30 minutes away from $100,000 a year salary.
Absolutely. And so I think
That's crazy.
that is the thing. The people that get how simple this is and actually act on it, right, are the people that do extremely well. I have one student there in Divine who is just crushing it right now.
Yeah.
The guy's from Perth, Australia.
Okay.
He's 66 years old. He's never done anything online before. He comes from the construction industry, right? Totally different. My dad used to be a construction worker, right? So totally different,
Yeah.
right? And he's just knocking it out the park.
Wow. So here's an interesting question, right? I'm just going to throw this out there. We have this thing at Lurn. We have a joke, and that is that nurses,
Right.
at every one of our events, we have nurses.
Uh-oh, my wife's a pediatric nurse, so
Yeah,
he
and-
might get me kicked out the house.
No,
here.
no. This is good. This is good. This is a big compliment at nurses. And first of all, they love being entrepreneurs. They talk a lot about wanting to be an entrepreneur. But the best part is that they come in, man, they kick butt. I think nurses just know how to
Yes,
work hard,
They do.
and they kick butt. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, maybe if I had a guide about like how to start an online business if you're a nurse,
Yeah.
but I doubt I'll find that on Udemy.
No, you're not. That's
No,
super,
that's super. But I might find. So, is there a way if I come up with a creative idea like that? Do you have a way I could kind of gauge if there's an interest? But that's like super specific. I'm sure there's not even a book about it.
Yeah, so for you, it might be a little bit different because you have an audience, right?
Yeah.
So you can go and surveys are amazing. I love surveys. I mean, surveys make me money all the time
Okay.
because it's like your audience is telling you exactly what they want.
Yeah.
And now you're going and creating it,
Yeah.
right? And, sometimes, so... But for something like that, if you see a continued pattern where it's nurses, and then entrepreneurship, and then it's even more specific as far as a certain type of entrepreneurship, then yes, you can go in and create something around that. Because it now gives you an angle to hit.
Even if it's breaking the rules, but because I have an audience, I can kind of spike the sales.
Right.
So let's come back. So I got
and not to cut you off, but that's the beautiful thing about this. So it's so easy. I tell people to put as little time and as money into anything until you know it's proven. So with this, you can go and we talk about $150, right? $150 takes you no time. You can do this in a weekend. Yeah. And you start to see results, and you start to know if it's a winner.
And if it doesn't work,
and that's it. You know, you go in, and if it does work, then now you go in. We're talking to my son Tyler, right, in the studio. He told you how many books does he have in a can now?
He's got 3.
He's got 3 that he's knocking out, and niche that, you know, again, he's not writing these things, so you don't have to be the writer.
That's awesome. All right, so let's jump ahead. I wanna check something here. So I want to get more specific on a topic, and I'm curious what you say about it. Let's say I want to write a book about Facebook ads, because it's valuable to learn. Right. A type of user who's looking into Facebook advertising, they're valuable if they come in to learn. So I'm just looking at Facebook advertising. I found it on Amazon. Bestseller ranking 19,256.
That's one that's doing really well.
It's called The Complete Guide to Facebook Advertising. So that right there, and I know for a fact that on Udemy there's a ton. So I'm going to look at another one here, just out of curiosity. So because here I was thinking, oh man, that's such a specific topic. Now this one's got 131,000, but like you said, as long as one book on the topic hits the 20,000, you're okay. You're good to go.
As long as it's not by an influencer, right? Because that
by an influencer
kind of changes things.
Now that one book that I did say that was below 20,000 does have sponsored ads running. Does that impact it at all?
Doesn't impact that at all.
Because
sometimes Amazon will run those ads.
Oh, on their own.
Yeah, so Amazon will run those. Even like Google paid ads, Amazon will run sometimes.
Wow.
Which is
and
really
they pay
cool.
for it, right?
And they pay for it, right?
That's awesome. Yeah, so every other book I'm seeing about Facebook advertising is unfortunately showing up pretty low on that. So what does your gut say after the little that I've talked to you about it? I'm just looking at a couple more. What does your gut say as far as for Lurn's purpose, for my purpose? Would Facebook ads be a good topic?
I think with your audience being entrepreneurs, that would be a perfect topic.
Okay.
Right, and then you also segue into YouTube advertising, right? It could be Facebook advertising / Instagram advertising, since they're under the same platform. And there's so much that you could do with this, right? So you could do online radio platforms, so using like Spotify, and there's just so many different things that you can splinter that off with. Okay. And here's where it gets even better. So the guy or gal that buys your Facebook advertising content
likes it, they'll buy other.
Likes the YouTube stuff or is interested in it. It's an easier sell. And then he's more interested in the Spotify advertising content, and so on and so on and so on.
Got it. All right. So, but ideally, to stick to the $500 a month number, to be most organic about it, sounds to me like you'd suggest, hey, stick to the formula and make sure that it's popular on Udemy, it's popular on Amazon, and for me, it's related to entrepreneurs in some way. Right. That's like the 3-step formula for me to getting a good niche. And the Facebook ads one, I mean, like we had discussed on the last, on the last episode, you said that you found a specific sub niche.
Yeah,
right.
Facebook advertising for e-commerce.
For e-commerce. Yeah. Right? So very, very interesting. Great. Okay. So now let's say I've done all this work. I've got my list of 15. Yeah. I call you, you're like, hey, these 15, they'll work. These are good topics. What do I do now? Do I have to write the outlines for this?
No, not at all. So, and that's the beauty of it. So in this system that I provide you with, right, I tell people, and again, it's just a 3-step system. Step 1 is doing the market research, which we just covered, right? Yeah. Step 2 is getting the content created. So there's 2 ways that you can do that. You can either write it yourself, right? And about half of my students prefer to write it themselves. Some people are passionate about writing. Some people want to try their hand at that. Or you go in and you outsource it. I think that's what gives you the most leverage. That's where I make the bulk of my income. Most of my students make the bulk of their money. So now, in the formula that I give you, your outsourcer is giving you the outline. That's actually the first step. They're giving you the outline. They return that back to you. And now, based off that outline, you can tell if this person knows what they're talking about or does not. Right? So they're giving you a bulleted outline that you then can also use in your marketing, right? I also have them give you a description, because that description is also being used in your marketing if you want to. It's being used in your actual product description, right? So you've got the bullet points, you've got the description, They're writing all of the content for you, and then you're off and running to the races where you go and publish it on Amazon, and that's that. So that's it. So outline is provided to you. Now you can go in, you can say, hey, I want to make sure that you cover this, and this in the book. I do that from time to time.
Sure.
Usually I'm pretty lazy with it, to be honest with you guys,
Just give it
because
to
the
them.
guys that are doing the writing here, they're journalism majors. These are really smart guys. They're
Okay.
smart people. They're, current English professors or former English professors. So you get some really smart people that are doing this.
Have you at this point just basically built up a team of?
Yeah, I do. I have my
And so
go-to
you
team.
just know,
Yep,
you don't have to go
that's
to
it.
like Upwork and all
That's
that. You
it.
just
Yep.
go to them
So,
and say, hey,
right.
here's a topic, go.
Yep,
They
that's it.
finish it, next topic lined up,
That's
go.
it. And they're already lined up. So we actually have a spreadsheet of what's next.
And so
right?
they just
it's a
attack it
formula.
one at
That's
a
it.
time. That's
and they
awesome.
go in, they assign themselves to a project, and we already know what's what. So that's it.
That is so cool. Okay, so I got my list of topics. You said to get to 100,000, you estimate about 15 books needs to be my aim. About $150 per book, 25 pages. Last episode you had said about 10,000 words roughly. Get them written. Expect a budget of about $150 or so to write it. The writer will do the research for you.
Yep.
There is a process the process I have to go through is finding the writer,
Right.
which you explained on the last episode. Go to Upwork, go to Guru.
Upwork
Guru
to
being
Guru.
one of your favorites.
Yeah.
Post in such a way, in a certain way, make a post. By the way, again, I want to remind everybody, go to learn.com/Kindle, LURN.com/Kindle. The podcast episode is there. Ty's done free training that goes even deeper. And then we are releasing at Learn. I don't know when you're watching this, but based on that, we might already be live. An amazing course that Ty has done, like baby step at a time, on how to use Kindle to create this massive amount of income. It's all there. This is so powerful. I really am like sitting here wondering why is anyone right now in the country struggling to make money? Like this is that simple of a system. Okay, so then the book is done.
That's it.
I'll have to scan it. I want to do good in the world. I want to review, make sure it's okay, especially if it's on a topic like Facebook guys that I know. Make sure they didn't say anything completely wrong. And then are there outsourcers I hand it to and be like, go put this on Amazon for me?
So yeah, you can do that. Like if you want to take it to the next level, like if you're creating a machine, which is what I've done. So we have, like I said, we use Google Sheets. So my team can go in and look at this, who's doing what, where each person is in the steps. Once the content is created, I now have someone that goes in and uploads it, and then that's about it. So yeah, you could definitely do that. That's a little bit more advanced stuff, and that's if you want to.
Where do I find someone to do that? Like, is that a Fiverr
you're using
thing?
No.
Okay.
I actually kind of stay away from Fiverr.
Yeah. Okay. There was a joke made yesterday at the event we're at. It's like it's not really Fiverr anymore. It's more like 30 or.
No, it is actually. It is. Yeah, but I actually listen. Guru and Upwork is where I find
everything. Okay.
If they're virtual.
Okay.
Right, I find all of my virtual people on Google and Upwork.
Okay.
That's it.
Just go to Upwork and just post that.
I keep it simple.
I want someone to post my book to format it and do all this stuff.
Yep.
Cover design?
Cover design, same thing. Google and Upwork.
Love it. Then the book is uploaded. I upload it. And what I'll do, a couple things you said when we were off the topic, you had said covers. I should pick a standard theme.
So for what you're doing, right, for publishing this series, we'll call it, around entrepreneurship that's helping entrepreneurs, it's in your best interest to have a similar theme.
Kind of like,
right?
Have you seen it's HBR? Do you know what I'm talking about? Harvard Business Review?
I saw those. Who else has? We were talking about Dan Kennedy earlier. His No BS marketing series is kind of like
it's
that.
like this right here. You see that green title?
Yep.
This, I could see this book.
Oh, we would knock them out the park though. Using the formula, our covers look much better than that.
So what I meant though is
they're in line with it.
Yeah, what I meant is like I can, because I see these all the time at Hudson and all that when I'm playing.
Yes.
So I know from afar because they'll change the color of the.
They become
cover,
a brand. It becomes its own brand.
Yeah, the format is the same. I'll know from afar. Okay, that's HBR's book. So basically, we're trying to go for that psychology, but we'll have a better cover.
Yes.
So at some point, Learn. Maybe I'll have 100 of these. Maybe I'll have 200 of these out there, and they're all like little fishing nets out there in Amazon system.
Yes.
Drawing people to Learn platform, building this brand awareness. And making me a side passive income of all the sales I get on Kindle. Yeah, and I don't have to build funnels or any of that stuff.
They do multiple things. So number one, they're building brand awareness. As you mentioned with the HBR books, you can see it from afar and you know what that is or what it's associated with, right? So you're doing traditional branding in a sense, right? You're getting your name out there, Lurn, and you're also building a revenue stream with each new piece of content that you publish. And you're also building up a user base, right? So you're getting people into your ecosystem here.
That's amazing. I thought this podcast episode would be longer, but I mean, it's the freaking simplest business model.
That's it.
Right? The business plan is done.
Right.
So everyone who's listening, the only thing different about my model versus yours is that you may not have the limitation of entrepreneurship related books. You kind of have the full scope of do whatever you want as long as you follow the model. So we're going to bring this to an end, a close, because I know Ty's got a flight coming up. He wants to go. He's been here the last couple of days filming amazing content. If you want to watch all of it, it's free. Go to lurn.com, lurn.com/Kindle, Kindle. Again, lurn.com/Kindle. Go over there right now. Ty, where can people find you? Your website, they can follow you more?
Sure. You can reach me at tycohen.com. So TYCOHEN. Any social media platform, Facebook, Instagram. I'm most active on Facebook. And that's at Cohen, COHEN, TY, Instagram, same thing. Reach out. I'd love to talk to you, answer your questions as well.
Get connected with this guy, man, and definitely get into Lurn Nation. He's got a course either already out or it's coming out. I'm telling you, close your eyes the second it comes out because it's going to be on a steep discount. And that, my friends, is not going to be for long. So it's only for the release. Grab it when you can, and you will learn how to do all of this in micro steps, and you'll have our support to get you through the process. In the meantime, I'm going to go find the topics, and I'm going to do exactly this. I'm going to start doing this because why not? This is amazing. Yeah. So having said that, Ty, thank you very much for flying in and for doing this for Lurn Nation. We love you. Thank you. If you're watching right now on YouTube, you got to leave a comment, click subscribe, hit the thumbs up thing, hit the bell icon. Make sure you do it. Ty will read the comments. I'll read the comments. Show some love, all right? And then, of course, if you're on iTunes, come on, go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. Tell your friends and family. Tell everyone about the Fighting Entrepreneur. Let's change the world together. Let's get 10 million people into Lurn Nation. What are you doing? Are you standing by watching, or are you joining the movement? LURN.com. It's a free account. There's tons of free courses in there, and we're bringing experts to you every day, just like Ty. Brilliant people from all over the world that can teach you how to change your life and take control over your own finances. This is Anik Singal. I want to say thank you for listening. Remember, when life pushes you, stand straight, smile, and push it the heck back. Until next time, Fighting Entrepreneurs, you go out there and you fight the fight, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to The Fighting Entrepreneur with your host, Anik Singal.